So welcome to our class today, and I invite you to join me in meditation as we begin by finding that comfortable position in the chair, setting aside any things you might have on your lap, or as we also begin to set aside the busyness of the mind. And so just allow yourself to relax, letting your shoulders drop. Be relaxed. Relax the jaw muscles and the muscles around the eyes. And just notice how you're feeling in the moment. And then I invite you to exhale fully, completely releasing as much air as you can, letting go, releasing, relaxing. And then take a full deep breath down into the belly, letting the belly expand as you breathe in, filling the belly and the chest with air. And again, fully release and relax as you let go. Breathing in deeply again to the belly and the chest. We welcome the breath. Welcome that cleansing, balancing breath. Exhaling again fully and gently. Relaxing even more. And then one more time, we take a deep cleansing breath. And this time we exhale with an audible sigh. Ah. And now allow the breath to find a natural rhythm, not directing it, but noticing the movement of the body as you breathe. What parts of the body are moving as you breathe? Be present to the sensation of the breath coming in through the nose, into the body, down into the chest. And the sensation as you exhale, releasing the breath, and also releasing any distractions. Being fully focused on the breath. Just give the breath the full attention of the breath coming in and going out. Follow the breath in. Follow the breath out. As we observe the breath, we also give thanks for the gift of this breath of life. The energizing nutrients, the energy of life. That animating essence of the breath. And then that leads us to the awareness of the energy of life that we are, the essence of life. Remembering that we are not the body. We are not our thoughts, our emotions. But we are this pure beingness. one with the infinite beingness. One with all of life, all creatures, all organisms, the earth, our brothers and sisters in spirit. As we honor the life expression of all with compassion and non-judgment. Honoring ourselves as an important part of the whole. So I invite you to, for a few moments, silently think that thought of oneness, no separation, universal connection and connectivity in oneness. Feel yourself expand your awareness as you take in that thought. So for a few times, just repeat that word oneness and contemplate what that means to you. Remembering our oneness with the infinite, we are more aware of our own infinite nature. Feel the aliveness that you are, radiating and vibrating past the physical body, where you are much greater than the physical form. Remembering that your mind is one with the one mind. Your heart is one with the one heart, the one divine love. You are one with the one light of wisdom. All-knowing infinite intelligence. And when the mind wanders, we come back to those thoughts of truth that align us with our truth. And we give thanks for this ability to turn within and become still, to allow greater awareness. That we may return to our daily lives with a sense of peace, of understanding and compassion, affirming well-being for all people and all beings. May all beings be at peace. Take another deep breath. Giving thanks for the power of peace to bring us into balance and awareness. And so it is. I invite you now to bring your attention to your eyes, preparing to return your attention to the group. And counting down 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes and reconnect. Namaste. I behold the spirit that you are.
Okay. I have 2 Elsas in the room.
Oh, well, she's got signed in twice, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's probably one on the phone and one on the...
That's okay. Yeah, it's okay. So today, I'm going to welcome everybody first. Hi.
Hi.
How's everyone? Yes. I wanted to, I was going to ask something else, but as I sat here waiting for the meditation to end, something came to mind that I was asked to ask you. And there seems to be a lot of anxiety over what is happening in the States, and the uncertainty of what is to come in the coming days. And just very lightly, and I would like to ask you how are you feeling about upheaval? And I'm going to start with Virginia.
I felt that one coming. On the human level, concerns. On the spiritual level, knowing that all of this is in divine order. I look at it as the breakdown, the breakthrough, a part of what we're going through in this transition into a higher vibration. And that's what brings me peace. Also knowing that I'm open to my guidance of anything that is mine to do. But I know above all, mine to do is to keep myself in peace and hold everybody in compassion.
Okay, thank you. Penny. Penny, did you hear me? I cannot hear you.
I'm not sure how to answer without probably offending somebody or.
Okay, can you just tell us how you are feeling?
Anxious. Yeah, anxious.
Anxious?
I have a partner who's very angry. I have a partner who's very angry.
Okay.
So he leaves the house in the morning very angry. Doesn't help. It doesn't help my anxiousness.
Okay, thank you. Donna?
Hi, I have finally let go and got out of the way of the divine order. I know that there is a divine order, and whatever is meant to be is meant to be. So, and I have faith in that. And since the new year, I actually have had high energy, higher than I did throughout 2020. I had a little apprehension in 2020, and then look what happened. This year, I'm very optimistic and know that things are for our higher good. So I'm okay.
Thank you. Sherry. Can Penny mute yourself, please? Thank you.
Well, for me, you know, we had the experience of driving through Atlanta and everybody was concerned, and I wasn't the least bit concerned. How can I say this? I am doing my utmost to be more compassionate, kind, understanding, going out of my way with a mask on to smile with my eyes, to connect with everybody and send out the love. And then there's times where I am the total opposite. It can be a stranger that just barely cuts me off and I am crazy woman. And then the observer's like, what is that about? So there's some underlying tension in areas when I've listened to the news. You know, we're all connected. So what harms anyone harms all of us. And I want to, how I've been dealing with it is not focusing on what's going on with me, but what can I send out to others.
Okay, thank you. Barbara.
How do I feel? Is that the question? That's the question, correct? How do I feel?
Yes.
Well, yeah. I've been feeling for the last week or so some anxiety, which hadn't really been there before, I don't think, or at least if it had, it wasn't quite as strong. I'm also, I'm so really tired of dealing with these stomach issues. I actually am feeling somewhat, it's really strange. I'm feeling somewhat better today. And I have another test that I have to perform tomorrow. So, so along with the anxiety, I think I've been feeling depression, which I've been feeling all along, but sort of low grade kind of, you know, and I could still go out and do the things that I enjoyed, but lately it's been kind of difficult to do that. So I don't really know what's going on with the stomach or that kind of thing. I'm just kind of, you know, seeing what happens and meditating and, you know, trying to do it that way. So.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Elsa?
Yes. Well, for me, it's been a roller coaster the past few weeks. So, what can I say? I've been tired. Then I was sick. So my feelings went as a roller coaster, big time. However, I took different positions. I took the position of resting. I took the position of the observer. And I decide that I have to heal myself and step away from many different things in order to heal. So I did try to heal, which I do feel a lot better now, thank God. And I was able to rise better in order for me to start feeling better again into myself. It's been a roller coaster for me and my entire family for a while.
Right.
It's been almost 2 months now. But, however, you know, it finally I was able to break the pattern and be able to say that was it. So I was able to step out of the circle, even though it was hurting. I became the observer and I was able to wash it off, and it's not hurting anymore. I guess it's the first time I do open to you guys, so I'm sorry if I didn't
Okay.
before.
That's
But
okay.
and I'm not being specific, but
It's okay.
this is what I did.
Mhm.
And thank you, Angie,
Mhm.
for your classes because it did help. Also, I am able now to help my family and people that it was being affected by D. So I am in my way to do that now because I mean I said stop suffering and it's gonna stop. And I'm strong and it's gonna happen. Period. I'm not gonna
Okay.
let nothing to step on the way now to that. By
Thank
the
you.
grace of God and by the humility that God grants me now. So
Okay.
I'm going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Irma.
I have been trying, or actually I'm more succeeding in living in the present moment. And as Eckhart Tolle says, that there are no problems in the present moment. And so I try to find more peace in myself, to see more peace outside, and to in that way facilitate more peace outside as well. In order to when I've been reading a lot David Hawkins literature, David Hawkins lessons, and it helps me a lot, because he focuses on that you but like many other people, to find your inner strength, your inner peace, and that has been, and this class has been helping in that regard, because you can kind of talk about it without having it only in your mind, which is nice, and you hear about with the other people, and many things that have been said are very ringing with me very much. In the same way, so which is very good. So I am just I don't want to live in the past, and I don't want to live in the future. I really try to focus on the present, and that to me is I have been more successful. So I feel a lot more optimistic, and I know it's difficult. If things are difficult, they will always be difficult. I have no doubt that life is like that, and I am accepting it much more to the way as it is right now. So that's it.
Thank you. Lisa.
You'd like to save me to the last. Well, what everybody said, I can definitely resonate with. But I've been feeling. I'm glad you're asking, because I've been feeling a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness over the external events in the world, and a lot of awareness, like what Virginia said, that this is all in divine order, and if I can just hold the image of how I see the future, then it's good. Also, the importance of just staying in the present moment, also meditating, exercising, keeping my vibration high. I know that if I can keep and cleanse my consciousness, that I'll help to heal humanity and their.
Okay, thank you. Sam?
Hiya.
Hi.
This past year has been very challenging for me, grieving the loss of my son and staying in a different residence. So personally, I've had a lot of upset and grief and things happening to my son's house repair wise, and the whole year has just felt so unreal. And so what's going on now just feels like a continuation of it for me. And to cope, I'm finding that I need more nature than indoors, and meditation. My mind's been racing for the whole year, and that's been my biggest challenge is slowing that down and focusing and chanting and humming or whatever it is that I need to do. And, coming to groups like this too, to know that there are many of us, praying and focusing on the light, and learning new ways has been really beneficial for me. So I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Diane?
I've been feeling frustrated and disappointed and concerned and trying to find the sense of being at peace, but it's very hard. If I turn on the news to see what else is going on the news, it just aggravates me so bad. It's not funny, so I just turn it off. And I try to go inward and find that sense of peace that, where we're at is where we need to be. But that's pretty much it. A lot of frustration. A lot of anger even with it.
Diane, I'm sorry. Diane, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you because of somebody singing.
Yes, my grandbaby's right next to me.
Come here, Bella.
She's singing.
Come here, Bella. What, Mommy?
Yes. Should I start over?
No, go ahead.
I said, as far as for the most part, I feel a lot of frustration. I feel as if that there's so much double standard in the media and the printing and the projecting things and what have you. So it's very frustrating. And yet, in my own little world inside my home, I feel like I'm safe and what have you. But I really have a lot of concerns as far as to what's going to happen in the future.
Okay.
Very disappointing.
That was the message I got during meditation. This meditation, I was going to ask a totally different question, but I always have to follow where I'm led. So personally, I know I can jump a timeline where things are more the way I want them to be. And sometimes that, the more that I am attuned to jumping timelines, the better it is for me, because I get better and better results as to what it is I want to manifest. I know, like Barbara, we continuously jump timelines and going back and forth. So I was with Sherry traveling, and like she said, we found out that this was happening on the day that we left. And close to Atlanta, we turned the radio on and there was the news, and we're going, what? And people started texting us, be careful, and all of this stuff. I don't really want to talk politics because this is not my agenda here. I just want to say that we were not in fear. We were not even concerned, really. We were more shocked about what was happening. But aside from that, we kept our minds in, this is not going to affect us. There's such a thing called as personal timing. And personal timing has a lot to do with timelines. When you jump a timeline, like a lot of us do, we all do, we have the ability to choose what is presented to us and how we're going to, in what area we're going to be, what is manifested in front of us. We didn't run into any problems for or against or anything like that, nor were we looking for any. I think that we were more surprised that people were calling us and telling us to be careful. I'm not preoccupied, although I'm looking kind of like over my shoulder at times, looking at that it doesn't matter what it looks like out there. We have personal timing. It doesn't matter what is going out there, because I don't need to look out there. I need to look at me. I need to look at what it is that I am looking at. And I do not believe in division of any kind. And I'm talking personally. You know, I pray for everyone. And I don't take a side. Even if I have a chance to take a side, I quit doing that, because I realized that it was more of a division than anything else. And how can I start attacking people that are my brothers and sisters, regardless of which side you're on? You know, it's whatever happens, just know that you're able to handle the situation. You're able to be in truth. And the more in truth that you are, the easier it will be for you to deal with whatever comes your way. Good, bad, or indifferent. We signed up to be here at this time, so we are fully prepared to deal with situations. I think we all understand that it is a choice of our reactions. You know, I can be incited, or I can be, you know, excited, or I can be anxious, or I can be depressed, or I can be exuberant, or none of that matters. Those are feelings, and not my feelings. So I wanted to bring that so everybody will have a chance to hear and be able to express that which we're being exposed to. We're not, like I said, we have our own individual timing. I want you to realize that you're not at the mercy of what's out there, that you are able to take a direction, to take to see what it is you want to choose to experience. Okay. So what I'm going to be talking about today is letting go, because it is the subject at hand. So I'm going to be quoting a lot of David R. Hawkins. So the mechanism of letting go, what is it letting go of? And is it is like a sudden cessation of an inner pressure, or the dropping of a weight, and it is accompanied by sudden feelings of relief and lightness with an increased happiness and freedom. It is an actual mechanism of the mind, and everyone has experienced it on occasion. A good example is the following. You are in the midst of an intense argument, and you get angry, or you start losing control, or you get caught up on the on whatever it is that you're discussing or arguing or whatever. You're angry and upset when suddenly the whole thing strikes you as absurd and ridiculous, and you start to laugh, and the pressure is relieved. You come up from the anger and fear and feeling attacked to feeling suddenly free and happy. Think how great it would be if you could do, excuse me, somebody knocked on the door. Oh, hi. Okay. So, you go from feeling an anger and in being enraged, and then suddenly you start feeling, you bust out laughing, and it changes the whole vibration and frequency of what you have in what you were experiencing. That's a quick change, and sometimes that happens without warning. Not that you were planning it, but suddenly you start seeing things that are just ridiculous, and you start laughing because it was a ridiculous thing. There's no other way to react. And it's a sudden happening. It's not that you planned it. It just hit you hysterical at that moment. I don't know if any of you have been in a situation like that, but I know I have. And it's like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Yes. So suddenly you're free and happy. And how great it would be to, if you could do, if we could do that all the time, be in a happy place. And with any event, you could always feel free and happy and never be cornered by your feelings again. That's what this technique is all about, letting go consciously and frequently at will. You are then in charge of how you feel, and you are no longer at the mercy of the world and your reactions to what's happening in the world. This is something that we need to, especially at times like this, that we need to really pay attention to. What are our tools? What can I turn to? It is okay to feel great and, better energetically and all these other things, but there's a subtle underneath wave of things that, because we are as positive thinkers and more able to come back to balance, we don't have we don't look at what's underneath, and a lot of times we negate what is actually happening. Somehow you get more tired, or sometimes you get more like a mild depression underneath, but it's not even a mild depression. It's just something that we're suppressing, and we're suppressing because, as somebody who should know better and had to climb out of those issues, we don't know to address that as well. So instead of that, we jump into the happy thought, and into, I'm not going to think about that. And it's not as easily as that, because now you become with a repression and a suppression. Repression and suppression will come out, because the more you suppress, the more that you're going to be having you will have an explosion. There is no avoiding it, because so much suppression. Somebody said to me, it's kind of like a bottle, and you keep on putting, let's pretend that there's a bottle of Coke, and you keep on putting more gas and more gas and more gas and pushing it down, and then you open it up, or you shook it up, and when you open it, it just explodes all over. And that is the equivalent of what we do with our emotions. So suppression is not the answer. We do not want to be at the mercy of the world, because you already know that you're no longer a victim. But what I would like to emphasize at this point is, do not think that just because you change the thought in the channel that the problem isn't there. I want you to become aware of not of allowing yourself not to suppress. Do not suppress, because if you need to express. You are here to express being human. You're here to express feeling, but not get carried away with it. You are not a victim, and this is employing the basic teachings of Buddha, what we're going to be talking about, which removes the pressure of involuntary reactivity that we carry around with us as a huge reservoir of accumulated negative feelings and attitudes and beliefs. And the accumulated pressure makes us miserable, and it is the basis of many of our illnesses and problems. We get resigned to it and explain it away as the human condition. And it is not a human condition. It is how we have been trained to deal with issues, like, no, ignore your feelings, no, don't cry now, no, don't do this, suppress. No, it's not nice for you to feel anger. No, it's not nice for you to, if you were really spiritual, you will not be doing these things. So it's a negation, a suppression, and it's really, we need to really look at this in a different way. It is okay in all the other things that I said, okay, give it to the robot and all this, but at the same time, I want you to, by giving it to the robot, you are actually acknowledging that. But make sure that you're not doing it so fast as not to feel anything and start getting away from it and suppressing it because I feel so good. Because then your body will start reacting to you. Not immediately, but with the cumulative of emotions, then you're going to have to deal with them in a worse manner. So we carry around with us a huge reservoir of accumulated negative feelings and attitudes and beliefs, and the accumulated pressure makes us miserable. And it is the basis of many of our illnesses and problems, and we are resigned to it. But do we have to be resigned to it? And that's a key, that you do not have to, because you're not meant to. You're not meant to carry these charges. You're not meant to carry this on your shoulders or anywhere in your body. Your body was not meant to carry things that you cannot deal with. So as we look at these things, especially now that we are called to pay attention to our surroundings and what's going on out there. What's going on out there is only a reflection of our where we are as a humanity, as humans. But instead of looking out there, you have to look within and what it is you want out of what is happening. So to explain it away as a human condition, we seek to escape from it in a myriad of ways. The average human life is spent trying to avoid and run from the inner turmoil of fear and the threat of mystery. Everyone's self-esteem is constantly threatened, both from within and and without. If we take a closer look at human life, we see that it is essentially one long, elaborate struggle to escape our inner fears and expectations that had been projected upon the world. And in between, there are periods of celebration, but we're always more or less trying to protect or hold back or not react, not finding ourselves reactive and not finding, so we're still in a defensive mood. So sometimes we do have the periods where we are we have periods of celebration and periods where we're okay and periods where we're happy. But 90% of the time we are actually on the defensive and still waiting for us. We have become afraid of our inner feelings because they hold such a massive amount of negativity that we fear we will be overwhelmed by it if we were to take a deeper look. We have a fear of these feelings because we have no conscious mechanism by which to handle the feelings. If we let them come up within ourselves because we are afraid to face them, they continue to accumulate. And finally, we secretly begin looking forward to death. I mean, this is when you finally had it up to here. Like, okay, what else can I do? What can I, And so, I mean, it's very hard to hear, very harsh to hear these words that we secretly begin looking forward to death, to bring all of the pain to an end. It is not thoughts or facts that are painful, but the feelings that accompany them. Let me repeat that back. It is not thoughts or facts that are painful, but the feelings that accompany them. Thoughts in and of themselves are painless, but not the feeling that that underlie them. Like I was saying, that underlining feelings that we keep on postponing and suppressing and repressing. That's what I'm talking about, the suppression of that. And we're talking feelings, because when you're having okay, so when we're having like feelings and thoughts, and we have thoughts and feelings, but you cannot have a thought without having the feeling first. Okay, so the moment that you start thinking about something, that the feeling is already there. What we log into the cellular memory of the body is the feeling. It doesn't come in words, it comes in feelings. And suddenly you find yourself in a reactive mode. And why are you reactive? Because you have a cellular memory that is strictly based on feelings. And because you have that, you don't recognize what it is. You're already reactive before you know what happened. And that's because we don't pay attention to our feelings. We try to stuff them down. That's the repression and that's the suppression. Okay. So we look at the feelings and the thoughts. And like I was saying, they of themselves are painless. The thought is not a painful process. The moment that you start putting them together and a thought, and you start, first is the feeling, and then comes the thought, and then comes the memories, the mind memories, and then more of the feeling of your cellular memory. And the more that this happens, they complement each other, and they play on each other. And the more they play on each other, the more we react. So in order for it to stop? I mean, once you start getting agitated, instead of going with it, just go, okay, what is that feeling? What am I not looking at? What feeling am I not looking at? And did everybody hear that word? Irma, did you hear that?
Yeah, what comes to, I did hear that, what is it? What feeling am I not looking at? What comes to mind when you were saying that is that what Hawkins is saying, that a feeling is never a single feeling. Like all these lower emotions, like grief and like anger and guilt and shame, they are always in combination with other feelings. So the guilt, for example, you are guilting because you are feeling angry. You feel shame because you are, it's always in a combination. So they are never really single emotions. It's always a combination. That's how I was reading. That's how I understood it. That so it's a whole conglomerate of emotions that if you want to release all of those emotions, you have to go slowly and release. Maybe you start releasing the guilt of being angry. So but accepting that you feel guilty. So like you said before, it's to acknowledge things. And what I have been learning from him also, from Hawkins, is that these mechanisms of survival that we have, all of us, with the, like you said, the suppression of the feeling, and the repression. The suppression is more like a conscious process that you do not want to look at it and you put it away, you tuck it away. The repression is a subconscious process that is a mechanism of, if maybe it's endangering, if you are getting into it, if you are feeling too hard, then you may lose it all, and maybe it's essential for your survival. And as we learned in the other lessons, that's only like 94 or 6 or whatever % of conscious, if all is subconscious, and only 6% we are working with a consciousness, that it's not easy to get into the suppressed and into the repressed feelings. Actually, only on good days, when the dark night can come, and we can get maybe one of those repressed feelings with all these conditions that came to it, like we did with the robot thing. It's all programs that we can release that, or being aware of it. So it's hard work. It's not a one-day process. It's not it's a constant thing. It's a daily thing. It's actually all the time. And the other thing that is very, very common, actually, it's the first mechanism, or maybe they're all the same. I do not know if there's a first, second, and third method of our conscious mind to work, but it's definitely projection. And with all these upheaval going on the outside, there is, to me, it is so obvious that it is all, projection. Our own projection into, and blaming what we cannot, we blame on the other people, we blame on the outside. These are the bad ones. This is the black sheep. This is that.
Okay, I just want to say something. You kept on saying that you always and continuously have to do this. That was true until we were until now, when things are getting easier. If you do use your robot, and if you start passing it, because you're becoming more conscientious every time you do that, your consciousness, you start dropping off the excessive numbers of being unconscious. The more that you play with the robot, the more that conscious that you become, the more awake you are, the more aware. So it's not always, I mean, before there were not given tools as to how to, what was the fastest and easiest way to help us to overcome the sleepiness, our unwillingness to wake up. And that's an unwillingness to wake up because we were so afraid of our feelings and so afraid that we could not cope with them. So I just wanted to add that to what you were saying. Okay, thank you. Like I was saying, thoughts in and of themselves are painless, but not the feeling that underlies them. It is the accumulated pressure of feelings that causes thoughts. One feeling, for instance, can create literally thousands of thoughts over a period of time. Think, for instance, of a painful memory from early life, one terrible regret that has been hidden. Look at all the years and years of thoughts associated with that single event. If we could surrender the underlying painful feeling, all of those thoughts will disappear instantly and will not, and we will forget the event. This observation is in accord with scientific research by the great LaViolette scientific theory, which integrates psychology and neurophysiology. The research demonstrated that feeling, tones, organized thoughts, and memory. Gray LaViolette in 1981 filed this in the thoughts are filled in the memory bank according to the various shades of feelings associated with the thoughts. So once again, thoughts are filed in the memory bank according to the various shades of feelings associated with those thoughts. So like I said earlier, you can have thousands of thousands of thoughts per one feeling, because that's how much a feeling interferes in your life. So when I say you're not your thoughts and you're not your feelings, and I want you to pay attention to your feeling part, because you have thousands of thoughts per feeling. And it could have been just a one incident, but thousands of thoughts came through the years because of it. Therefore, when we relinquish or let go of a feeling, we are freeing ourselves from all of the associated thoughts. The great value of knowing how to surrender is that any and all feelings can be let go of at any time, in any place, in an instant, and it can be done continuously and effortlessly. What is the surrender state? It means to be free of negative feelings. Once again, the word feelings, not the thoughts, in a given area, so that creativity and spontaneity can manifest without opposition, or the interference of inner conflicts. To be free of inner conflict and expectations is to give others in our life the greatest freedom. It allows us to experience the basic nature of the universe, which it will be discovered is to manifest the greatest good possible in a situation. This may sound philosophical, but when done, it is experientially through feelings and mental mechanisms. We have three major ways of handling feelings. Okay. Suppression, expression, and escape. Those are the three ways we handle feelings. Suppression, expression, and escape. We will discuss each in turn. One, suppression and repression. These are the most common ways in which we push the feelings down and put them aside. In repression, this happens unconsciously. In suppression, it happens consciously. We don't want to be bothered by feelings, and besides, we don't know what else to do with them. So sort of suffer through them and try to keep functioning as best as we can. The feelings that we select to be suppressed or repressed are in accord with the conscious and unconscious programs that we carry within. So the programs that we carry, both that sustain both the repression or suppression. One is conscious and the other one isn't. So once again, in suppression, it happens consciously. In suppression, you suppress things consciously. Like, okay, I'm done with this. I don't, I'm not gonna get caught up in that vibe, blah, 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 okay? And this is us, the ones that are the more aware, but not necessarily awake, fully awake yet. So suppressions is consciously. Repression is unconscious. Yes, Lisa.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing the words right. I thought you said suppression is one of the most common and it's unconscious.
I never used the word common. I never used the word common.
You said suppression and expression are the most common ways to handle feelings.
Okay.
But you said suppression is unconscious and expression, EX, is conscious.
Okay. Let me give me a second. This suppression and repression, these are the most common ways in which
repression, I'm sorry, is it repression or expression?
Okay, pay attention, please. Suppression and repression.
All right.
Are the most common ways in which we push the feelings down and put them aside. Okay. In repression, this happens unconsciously. In suppression, it happens consciously.
Yeah.
So to answer your question.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be bothered by the feelings, and besides, we don't know what else to do with them. So we sort of suffer through them and try to keep functioning as best as we can. The feelings that we select to be suppressed or repressed are in accord with the conscious and unconscious programs that we carry within us. Those are the ones that when we become consciously aware of them, those are the ones that we usually feed to the robot. When you become consciously aware, those are the ones that you are able to give freely to the robot. The more aware you are of those feelings, and those will be the first ones to give away. The ones that the ones that you suppress, not the ones that you repress, are the ones that are the easiest ones to recognize. Those are the ones that we immediately grab. That's not my thought, and we give it away. That's the conscious part. The ones that you don't see as much, which is the suppression, and the reason the suppression happens in a suppressed manner is because it becomes a cellular memory. The cellular memory is a suppression. Remember, remember the cycle. Thought after thought after thought, and it keeps on pressing it down, pressing it down, pressing it down until it becomes a cellular memory. Every thought has a feeling. Every thought has a feeling because there will not be a feeling without the thought. I'm sorry, there will be not a thought without the feeling. I said that backwards. You can have the feeling and immediately your thoughts come out to play and to carry on. Is everybody following me?
Mhm.
Barbara? Do you have a question?
I think I may ask you one thing. The feeling is first and then the thought. Is that how it goes? Just to put it in simple terms.
Feelings are first and then thoughts. You know,
Okay.
most people
So
get
first you have to feel.
most people get taught that the thought comes first and then the feeling, but the thing is the thought will not exist without the feeling.
Okay.
Okay, because a lot of times when you're a baby, you don't know you don't know any thoughts, you still don't know how to think yet. Nevertheless, the cellular memory already started because it was all about feelings. So your cellular memory starts at the crib, on the crib side. So yes, it's feelings first and then thought. Repression is unconscious. Suppression is conscious.
Repression. Okay.
Got it? Penny, are you?
Yeah, I think. Yep.
Sherry?
Okay, so maybe I heard it backwards, because what I wrote is thoughts bring feelings and they become cellular memory. What feelings am I not looking at? And it's not just one emotion, one feeling. When I let go of the feeling, I'm letting go of the thoughts. So when I'm sad, don't I have to look at my thoughts to see what I'm sad
No,
about?
because your feelings are a reflection of your cellular memory only, not of your thoughts. But although because your cellular memory is acting up, your thoughts come up, your memory thoughts of whenever you had that feeling before, and not necessarily the same feeling, not necessarily the same events, but the same feeling, sadness or angry, or there's many times you have been there, but at the moment that those feelings start coming up, you can have, like I said, thousands of thoughts per one feeling because they are very relatable.
Okay.
So first is the thought, and then, first is the feeling and then the thought. You got it? I cannot hear you.
I said, yeah, I'm still confused, because what I wrote down, every thought has a feeling. And
Well, in essence, every thought has a feeling because every feeling has a thought. But not, you cannot start with thoughts first. That's the key right there, that you don't start with thoughts. You don't start with thoughts, you start with feelings.
Okay.
And that's the only thing that is different, that most of us, when we're going to look at our behavior or trying to fix ourselves, we look at our thoughts. What I'm asking you to do is to look at your feelings and see the underlying question the feeling, not the thought.
So look at the feelings for underlying feelings.
In other words, the underlying feeling that goes with the thought that you're having that you might not like or that you're trying to correct.
Got it. Okay.
Like right now, we've been looking at the thoughts. Now I want you to, now that you went through that, now that you're, more educated on how to do that, now I'm asking you to look at your feelings. As we progress, I will start getting more and more in depth into what you need to, how you need to work at this. But because it's easier for me to start telling you to look at your thoughts, because we all have thoughts by the 60,000 or 70,000 per day. So but not too many people are used to looking at the cellular memory or working from the cellular memory, unless when we're doing it by the robot, by giving it to the robot. Penny?
Sorry,
Are you-
I was just scratching my head, sorry.
No, don't worry about that. Yeah. Donna?
Okay, so am I understanding this right? In order to change our thoughts, we have to change our feelings. Once we change our feelings,
The thoughts
then our thoughts change.
kind of dissolve.
Okay,
You address the underlying cause.
the underlying cause. Okay.
Okay, Lisa?
So my understanding was, I think you said that erase the feeling and that perhaps even 1,000 thoughts will be eliminated. We will no longer have those
Right.
memories.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Diane, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm processing. I'm processing an awful lot with this because of stuff from my past, you know. Like you said, as far as the feelings, and the feelings are what creates the thoughts, and so it makes good sense. And all the way back to the times when we were little babies or little kids.
Right.
So
one of
I
the
can
reasons
see where a
that
lot of my-
people one of the reasons that people don't remember a lot of their childhood is because it was mostly cellular memory. That's how come they tell you that they're absorbing and absorbing and absorbing. The case from 1 to 7, they're absorbing like a sponge. But the thing is that they don't have the qualification to form sentences in thought, in patterns of thought. They know how they feel. They will express through feelings, but they will not express themselves through sentences. So when somebody has a lot of their past, specifically during childhood, that they don't remember much, it has a lot to do with traumatic memories and a lot of cellular memory that was not in a good something that traumatized the child. So, okay. Anybody else before I go on? I guess not. Okay.
I do have a question, Angie.
Yeah.
When Lisa said it's about erasing the feelings, but it's also about acknowledging and then releasing, right?
Not erasing the feelings, erasing the thought. With one feeling, you can erase thousands of thoughts. Because you can have a feeling and let's say, do you remember a time when you were sad? And you start remembering and suddenly you feel the feeling because now you're calling it forth from the memory of the cellular memory. Oh yeah, I remember what it feels like to be sad, like this example and that example and the other example. And you go through your entire life and you can go through and explain what sadness is, and it's just one thought. One feeling, the feeling of sadness. But you can have thousands of experiences with that one feeling. So when you start addressing the feeling, you start dissolving the thought patterns, the traumatized thought patterns that go along with that. Did you understand me? What? I cannot hear you.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So you still go back a little bit. Thoughts are filed in the memory bank according to the various shades of feelings associated with those thoughts. Therefore, when we relinquish or let go of a feeling, we are freeing ourselves from all of the associated thoughts. The great value of knowing how to surrender is that any and all feelings can be let go of at any time, in any place, in an instant, and it can be done continuously and effortlessly. What is the surrender state? It means to be free of negative feelings in a given area so that creativity and spontaneity can manifest without opposition or the interference of inner conflicts. To be free of inner conflict and expectations is to give others in our life the greatest freedom. It allows us to experience the basic nature of the universe, which it will be discovered is to manifest the greatest good possible in a situation. This may sound philosophical, but when done, it is experientially through feelings and mental mechanisms. We have three major things which I already went through. I mean, I'm repeating the whole thing so you can hear it now that you understand it. And once again, I'm going to go through the three things: suppression, expression, and escape. I haven't talked about escape yet. I'm going to skip a few things here.
I had written down suppression, expression, and acceptance, but it's not acceptance, escape.
Escape. So, okay. The feelings that we select to be suppressed or repressed are in accord with the conscious and unconscious programs that we carry with us from social custom and family training. The pressure of suppressed feelings is later felt as irritability, mood swings. When you feel an irritability mood swing, is because of the pressure of suppressed feelings. So that was done unconsciously. Remember that suppression. You suppress that, and you don't know why you're irritated, and you're irritated because you're now suppressing more. The moment that you become irritated, you're now in a suppressive mode. Hear that again. The moment that you start getting irritated is because you're actively at that point becoming involved in a suppressive state. So when that happens when it's felt as irritability, mood swings, tension in the muscles of the neck and back, headaches, cramps, menstrual disorders, colitis, indigestion, insomnia, hypertension, allergies.
Leave it alone.
What? Who's talking? Diane?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
My grandson came in here and hit the computer. I was telling him to leave it alone.
Okay. So where was I? Okay, so when you start having all this suppression of feelings that you're suppressing them unconsciously. So that's when you're having all this tension in the muscle of the neck or in the neck or the back, headaches or cramps or menstrual disorders, colitis, indigestion, insomnia, hypertension, allergies. and other somatic conditions. When we repress a feeling, it is because there is so much guilt and fear over the feeling that it is not even consciously felt at all. It becomes instantly thrust into the unconscious, or the cellular memory, what we call it. I don't call it unconscious, I call it the cellular memory, so it doesn't sound that far off, like it's something that you cannot get a hold of. Okay? I usually don't go by normal words. I mean, what is the text for the textbook explanations? Yes, Penny.
I'm confused now because you were saying suppression is conscious. Now you're using the word suppression to say the moment you start getting irritated, you go into suppressive state. Then you have your mood swings, your headaches, your somatic conditions, etc. But then that would seem that that's the unconscious. That's where you're not really
Okay,
conscious.
I'm not, wait. I am having a hard time grabbing a hold of the question.
You're confusing me because you were telling us that suppression is conscious and repression is unconscious. Now you're telling us that when you get irritated, you go into a suppressive state, and you're telling us we're having all these things that are coming up that are
okay. What did I say was what did I say was unconscious?
You said it was repression.
Repression, okay, and that's what I'm talking about. Repression. Well, hold on. Let me continue here. Repression is anything that, and you're acting your feelings out because it's a cellular memory. I'm talking about cellular memory. I'm not talking about thoughts. Thoughts are a conscious thing.
But then to me, when you say suppressive state, that seems like you're conscious of that. But then you're saying all these things come up that you like headaches and mood swings and so forth that would seem like they'd be more from the repressive state.
They're the you have suppression. Repression happens unconscious. Everything that you repress, repression is unconscious.
Okay, well,
repression, okay, and repression is also cellular memory. That's how come you cannot say that it is conscious. Anything that is, when you become aware of the feeling of irritation, it has to be unconscious.
But you're using the word suppression. I heard you using the word suppression. I thought it would be repression.
Okay, repression.
Okay.
I'm using the word repression.
I heard suppression being used when you said suppressive state. So that's why I was confused.
Well, excuse my accent. I do know I have an accent. So maybe that's the problem. But I'm referring to repression. Everything that is a cellular memory that you do not explain by thought, you explain by feeling. So when I'm talking about a feeling like being irritated or irritable moods or things like that, I'm talking about cellular memory, and I'm talking about repression.
Yeah, I was hearing you say suppression, so I guess I just misunderstood.
Right.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
That's no problem. It's probably my accent. Yes, Diane.
When I hear you, what I hear is that we go through steps. In other words, like our feelings create the irritative state, and then the irritative state goes to the suppressive state, which then goes to the repressive state. Am I hearing that correctly, as far as that's how it goes to the cellular memory? So it's like a sequence of steps that ends up happening, but more within our brain as opposed to our body walking it.
No, you start with repression. Repression. You always start with feelings. You do not start with thoughts, you start with feelings. So you don't start in the mind, you start in your body. Cellular memory.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I thought I heard that social custom, depression, and suppression are part of things that we have learned, therefore lead to feelings. Therefore, repression, which is irritability, actively on a suppressive state, which is the mood swing, hypertension, somatic guilt, and the guilt, and the fear, which is the cellular memory, is the one that is gonna give us those potential feelings that becomes the thoughts that later on make us sick.
Okay.
Is that what I understood? Or that's what you tried to tell us?
Okay, what I'm trying to say here, I want you to get these two words, these 4 different words, but I want you to get them in pairs. Repression equals cellular memory.
Correct.
Okay. Suppression equals thought.
Perfect.
So when you're talking about feelings, you're going back to every time you talk about feelings, whether it's irritability or things like that, or your body speaking to you, because I told you in previous classes to pay attention to how your body's talking to you. Exactly. And this is what I was trying to get to, but I have to feed you one little piece at a time. So, so when you're talking about irritability, mood swings, and tension in the muscles and the neck, all of this is the body talking. We're talking about
cellular memories, therefore repression, correct?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Did you understand me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Therefore feelings.
Okay. Is there another question, Elsa?
No, my dear, thanks.
Okay. Then please mute. Okay.
I have a question, but I can't find how I can put my hand on the screen. It didn't show it up. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
All right, but my question is, if repression is, for example, if say I'm irritated, I'm irritable, I don't really, I mean, there's just little things and I can't understand why I'm overreacting, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm really irritable. So now I'm in the territory of a repressed feeling, which is unconscious. How in the world am I supposed to identify the feeling?
We'll get to talk about that as we progress with this. I cannot stop right now where I'm at because I'm giving you basics. Okay? But I will address that later. Okay, not today. Okay.
All right.
So one more time, like I was saying, the body speaking, and you have an irritated mood swings and tension and muscle cramps and the neck and the back aches and cramps and colitis and indigestion and insomnia, hypertension and all allergies and other somatic conditions when we repress a feeling. It is because there is so much guilt and fear over the feeling that it is not even consciously felt at all. Unconscious cellular memory. It's not felt at all. It's not consciously felt at all. It becomes instantly thrust into the unconscious as soon as it threatens to emerge. So most of those feelings get immediately suppressed. If it threatens to emerge, the repressed feeling is then handled in a variety of ways to ensure that it stays repressed and out of awareness. You're trying to get out of your awareness so it immediately goes unconscious. Okay, this is how you survived as a child. A lot of the things that it's like, okay, I'll let it go. Cherry,
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I had things twisted, but I get it now.
No, I know, because I kept on feeling like there was something over there. It's like, are you finally with following the
Yes, I was
flow?
actually looking up the actual definition of suppression, repression, and writing those down for me, so I have
Okay.
the
All
knowledge.
right. I just wanted to know if you were caught up. Okay. So when there's so much guilt and fear over the feeling that it is not even conscious or felt at all, it becomes instantly thrusted into the unconscious as soon as it threatens to emerge. The repressed feeling is then handled in a variety of ways to ensure that it stays repressed and out of awareness. Of these mechanisms used by the mind to keep the feelings repressed, and actually it's not, excuse me, these mechanisms are automatic. The body talks to you all the time. The body, but we don't know because we lost consciousness the moment that we started having thoughts. We quit listening to the body. The body talks first and then the mind. So if we start listening to what our bodies have to say, the easier it will be for us to be more aware of what we need to listen to. Okay, so these mechanisms used by the body to keep the feeling repressed, denial, and projection. That's what Irma was talking about earlier from Dr. Hawkins. Irma was talking about the projection. We now start projecting because we don't know what it is that is bothering us consciously. The thought is not there, and so at that point we start projecting outwardly. It becomes a projection arena. So repressed denial and projection are perhaps the best known methods as they tend to go together. Repressed denial and projection, they go together. Okay, I'm stopping because you need to know this, so write it down. Repressed denial and projection are perhaps the best known methods as they tend to go together and reinforce each other. Denial results in major emotional and maturational blocks. It is usually accompanied by the mechanism of projection because of guilt and fear. We repress the impulse of feeling and we deny its presence within us. Instead of feeling it, we project it onto the world and those around us. We experience the feeling as if it belonged to them. They then become the enemy, and the mind searches for and finds justification to reinforce the projection. The projection blame is placed on people, places, institutions, political parties, food, climatic conditions, astrological events, social conditions, fate, good luck, the devil, foreigners, ethnic groups, political rivals, and other things outside of ourselves. Projection is the main mechanism in use by the world today. It accounts for all wars, strife, and civil disorder. Hating the enemy is even encouraged in order to become a good citizen. We maintain our own self-esteem at the expense of others, and eventually, this results in social breakdown. The mechanism of projection underlies all attack, violence, aggression, and every form of social destruction. Through expressions with this mechanism, the feeling is vented, verbalized, or stated in body language and acted out in endless group demonstrations. The expression of negative feelings allow just enough of the inner pressure so that the remainder can then be suppressed. And this is a very important point to understand. For many people in society today, believe that expressing their feelings frees them from the feelings, and in fact, the facts are to the contrary. The expression of a feeling first tends to propagate that feeling. That goes with what you focus on expands, right? So, contrary, the expression of a feeling first tends to propagate that feeling and give it greater energy. Second, the expression of a feeling merely allows the remainder to be suppressed out of awareness. The balance between suppression and expression varies in each individual depending on early training, current cultural norms and mores, and the media expressing oneself in the media. I forgot to put a point there. Expressing oneself is now in vogue as a result of a misunderstanding of the work of Sigmund Freud and psychoanalysis. Freud pointed out that suppression was the cause of neurosis, therefore expression was mistakenly thought to be the cure. This misinterpretation became a license for self-indulgence at the cost of others. And what Freud actually said in classical psychoanalysis was that the repressed impulse or feeling was to be neutralized, sublimated, socialized, and channeled into constructive drives of love, work, and creativity. If we dump our negative feelings on others, they experience it as an attack, and they in turn are forced to suppress, express, or escape. The feelings, therefore, they suppress, escape, or express their feelings. Therefore, the expression of negativity results in the deterioration and destruction of relationships. So when you're talking, when you're projecting, you are really causing a rift in your personal relationships because there's so much projection, because you don't know why you have so much, because all these feelings come to the fore, and then you have to, instead of listening to the feelings, we get caught up on our head because our head is going to try to control the feeling so it can suppress it. As far better alternative is to take responsibility for our own feelings and neutralize them, then only positive feelings remain to be expressed. Through escape, excuse me, then only positive feelings remain to be expressed. Escape is the avoidance of feelings through the diversion. This is avoidance. It's the backbone of entertainment and liquor industries, also the root of the workaholic, escapism, and avoidance of inner awareness, also perfectionism. In a socially condoned mechanism, we can avoid our own inner selves and keep our feelings from emerging by an endless variety of pursuits, many of which eventually become addictions as our dependency upon them grows. As our dependency on them grows, the more we try to, and then it becomes a cycle, because whatever I'm addicted to, I'm going to also want to suppress that because I feel guilty, because I feel whatever the feeling is you may have towards an addiction. So the pursuits of many of which eventually become addictions as our dependency upon them grows. People are desperate to stay unconscious. We observe how often people flick on the television set first thing in the morning. Let's listen to the news. The minute they enter a room and then walk around in a dream-like state, constantly being programmed by the data poured into them. People are terrified of facing themselves. They dread even a moment of aloneness. Thus, the constant frantic activities, the endless socializing, talking, texting, reading music, playing with the dog, playing, working, traveling, sightseeing, shopping, overeating, gambling, movie going, pill taking, drug using, and cocktail partying. Many of the foregoing mechanisms of escape are faulty, stressful, and ineffective. Each of them requires increasing amounts of energy. In and of itself, enormous amounts of energy are required to keep down the growing pressure of the suppressed and repressed feelings. There is a progressive loss of awareness and an arrest of growth. There is a loss of creativity, energy, and real interest in others. There is a halting of spiritual growth, and eventually the development of physical and emotional illnesses, disease, aging, and premature death. The projection of these repressed feelings result in the social problems, disorders, and the increase of selfishness and callousness, characteristic of our present society. Most of all, the effect is the inability to truly love and trust another person, which results in emotional isolation and self-hatred. In contrast to the above, what happens instead when we let go of a feeling? The energy behind the feeling is instantly surrendered, and the net effect is decompression. The accumulated pressure begins to decrease as we constantly let go. Everyone knows that when we let go, we immediately feel better. The body's physiology changes. There are detectable improvements in skin color, breathing, pulse, blood pressure, muscle tension, gastrointestinal function, and blood chemistries. In the state of inner freedom, all bodily functions and organs move in the general direction of normalcy and health. Normalcy and health. There is an immediate increase in muscle power. Vision improves, and our perception of our world and ourselves changes for the better. We feel happier, more loving, and more easygoing, with less feelings of stress. We have the ability to, excuse me, I can't see, the sun is right on my eye. Okay. Basically, the cellular memory has a lot to teach us. Cellular memory, the one thing that we have always ignored. We have ignored our bodies to the point where we totally ignored our bodies. I do not know why, but we seem to have, it's almost pre-programmed in us. I don't know why we're so afraid of our feelings. I mean, being lonely, being sad, being this, it's not gonna kill you. It's a feeling. You're not that. You can disassociate from it if you want. You can play with it if you don't, but you're not gonna feel good. Okay, but pay attention if you want to pay attention and don't want to feel what you're feeling. Pay attention and ask the feeling, where do you come from? What are you telling me? You know, I don't want to have allergies. I don't want to have colitis. I don't want to have whatever X, Y, Z in there. Can you help me here? Can you? And the body will tell you if you will allow it to speak to you. If you stop and not trying to have the head fix the body. But the head is always trying to be in control. So I'm gonna be quiet now. I am opening the floor for about 2 to 3 minutes only, because I'm gonna go into meditation after this. I threw a lot at you. Just remember one thing, you have the recording. If you have any further questions about what I say or didn't say, go and check out the recorder. And so, Lisa?
I just wonder how quickly can I listen to the recording?
Tomorrow.
Not till tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is all really very perfect because the fear that I talked about, I found when I asked where that was coming from, or when I started, it wasn't when I asked, but I was journaling, and it just went to, like you said, just thousands, hundreds of different thoughts. Internal, right. External, all kinds of them. And so I really appreciate this. Thank you. But I was too busy writing to give it to the robot.
Well, one step at a time. Anybody else has questions? Virginia?
Mine's not really a question, but before we close, I just want to remind you that we really appreciate your donations and your support, and also that the recording is usually up by 3 p.m. the next day, or earlier, but at least by 3. And also that the prayer circle is tomorrow at 7, if anybody wants to participate in that. And
I think that
thank you, Angie, for a great class.
Also her prayer class, I mean, it's not a class, it's a prayer session. I think that giving the times and allowing our bodies to relax a little and allowing our bodies to process some calmness and letting go of our mental control, I think it will be something that is very helpful for all of us at this time. I highly recommend it. Anyway, having said that, I would like you to...
Virginia, will you send out an email for that?
I did already, Sam. If you did not get that, let me know. But I can resend it.
Please.
Yeah.
She won't resend it automatically. She's asking you to check for it, and then ask her if you don't have it. Okay. All right. I need everybody on mute.
No, I do not.
What?
I'll resend it.
Okay. Resend it after the class. Virginia? You need the meditation that is about to happen. So send it after the class. Okay.
That's what I was planning to do.
Okay. I'm just being told to tell you that. So normally I don't interfere with that. So please close your eyes. There was a lot of information given directly to your core. A lot of the things that I spoke today went directly into the spirit realm. Of course, your head is trying to take control of that. So Therefore, the hesitancy and the not understanding, it was meant to bypass a lot of your analytical mind. Allowing yourself to relax your shoulders, sit straight on the chair, straighten out your back, and I want you to sit with your head up and straight. I want you to take in a deep breath. Allowing the breath to come in naturally, but deeply, without it being forced. As deeply as you can take a breath without it being forced. Breathe in. Allow relaxation to take place in the body. Feel your shoulders and your neck relaxing. The front of your chest by your shoulders relaxing. And going to your skull, your head, relaxing your head, your scalp, your forehead, relaxing your face, your ears, behind your ears, relaxing your chest and your upper back, underneath your arms, relaxing the arms and the elbows and your fingers, including your fingernails, relaxing your tummy and your middle back and your sides, relaxing your lower abdomen, your buttocks, your pelvis, relaxing your thighs, your knees, your legs, your ankles, your feet, your toenails, relaxing the soles of your feet, allowing energy to flood your body through your breath. With every breath, that energetic breath is feeding your body. And I'm asking that breath as you're breathing it now to relax your body, to relax and calm your body, your head, relax. Imagine a cocoon that you're wrapped into, where your body feels nurtured. Your body is being nurtured. I want you to imagine a pink white light surrounding you, your entire body. And as you're encased in a cocoon, I want you to feel the light of that pink light entering your body through all of your cells. It is divine love, the color of divine love. allowing an opportunity for the body to be loved, to be acknowledged, to be loved unconditionally. It is okay to relax. It is okay to take it easy. It is okay at this one moment not to rush. It's okay at this one moment to allow your body to find this balance. I speak love, a love vibration to every cell in your body. I speak harmony. I speak peace and joy, allowing wholeness, allowing relaxation, allowing well-being, allowing your spine to relax. You are being enfolded in love inside your body, throughout the entire body, allowing peace. You are this. You are this peace, and you deserve peace even in your body. Your body should be okay. Your body is okay. I'm asking for your body to fix itself as you relax right now, and as you relax tonight. Go back into this cocoon. Allow any stomach upsets or any allergies or any somatic ailments to be corrected. Allowing yourself to breathe, to accept life, to breathe deeply. Allowing yourself to enjoy life, and allowing yourself to be who you are. And to be who you are includes your body. The body's not out by itself. Your body is part of you, not a separate thing, but as a part of you that you operate to express in this world. Allow the joy, allow the peace, and know that you are cared for by a lot of different guides and angels, and your guides and some family members that have crossed over, and they're there for you. And I want you to remember that you are worth taking care of yourself, that you are worth loving yourself. And I want you now to start feeling your body back in your chair. I want you to start feeling your feet on the ground, or if your feet are not on the ground, then your hands on your lap. Feel your body. As I start counting from 1 to 5, at the count of 5, you'll be fully awake and ready. 1, feeling the aliveness in your body. 2, Taking in a deep breath. 3. Feeling your neck in the middle of your back. 4. Feeling your head. 5. Fully back. 6. Okay. Lisa, you okay? Just wanted to make sure you were okay. You were back.
Thank you. I could have gone for another 20 minutes.
Elsa, do you want to say something?
Namaste, Angie. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Namaste.
namaste. It was beautiful
Blessings.
class. Thank you very much. It was a lot, but I'll listen to the tape.
Was
Wow.
there a class that didn't have enough?
Oh, this was just
Beautiful.
good. It was beautiful.
Okay, we have about 7 minutes left where we can talk about anything we want. And can you stop the recording now?